Hello and welcome back to our special broadcast on Akshay Tritiya. Joining us now is Mr. Prithviraj Kothari. He's MD at Riddisiddhi Bullion. Mr. Kothari, thank you so much for joining us to CNBC-TV18. What we understand until now really is that the markets are looking at higher exchanges instead of fresh buying. And then there is more investment buying rather than jewelry buying. And people are buying more silver rather than gold. How are you looking at the market?
Right now in the Akshay Tirthiya, because of the higher prices, no, it's almost all-time high prices. So people are exchanging jewelry, or they before book the price or EMI. So only today they take the delivery on auspicious day. And second thing, in south side is still demand is good, but north and the west side and the east side is a very poor demand. Basically, if you see in the market, only the coin or maybe bar demand is there, but not so heavily. People are, instead of buying 10 gram, they're buying 5 gram or maybe 2 gram. But overall, but still the day is there too much hot in the the
Yes.
in the too much hot in the city. No, everywhere is the hot. The temperature is too high. Maybe in the evening session, people are rushed to the showrooms and everywhere. So I think maybe Akshay Tirthiya is not so good compared to the last year, but obviously I think 30 to 40% maybe drop down. But in the volume it's a drop down, but the value is the same.
Mr. Kothari, what is your sense going forward? Where do you see the gold prices by, let's say, next Akshay Tritiya?
It's too difficult to say about that, but I think if you see the long term, I think prices move higher. Long term is I am the bullish is still the gold, but after the exit year, too much I think is the big correction is there. The waiting for the correction after the 3,000, it's a come to 3,500. So we are waiting for comes around 85 to 87,000. But next year I think it should be cross over 1 lakh 10,000 rupees per 10 gram. So I am bullish, long term I am bullish because it's still too much tension, geopolitical tension, de-dollarization, Trump tariff. So many things are because their central banks are still buying. So we can't say, but long term is a bullish and slowly if price is stable 85, 87,000, then Indian demand should be there. Now if you see the discount rate are very comes down also in India. If its price is stable around 3,200 or 3,115, then import again started.
Mr. Kothari, a lot of people have been betting on silver. What is your sense, one, on silver prices? And do you think that silver will outperform gold in sales for this Akshay Tritiya?
Yeah, I think that today the silver prices coming lower, almost $1 already down in the international market. I think silver long term is too much bullish. I am in the 3 years, almost 2.5 lakh silver prices I'm watching, and if you see the silver stocks in the London or everywhere, the silver is deficit now. In 2025 also, the silver is deficit compared to the last year also deficit. So I think silver long term is bullish. People are smartly buying silver because it's too cheaper, and if you see the ratio is above 100, so people are smartly buying more silver compared to the gold. So I think it's the best option to buy silver or invest in the silver because the auspicious day you can buy gold or you can buy silver. It's both are the same. So I think people more buying silver.
Fair point that. Mr. Kothari, thank you so much for joining in at CNBC TV18. That's the clue coming in from Mr. Prithviraj Kothari that there's more exchange happening and you could be looking at gold volumes declining by 30 to 40%. I mean, that's a big number they're coming in. But value-wise, of course, we could perhaps still be the same because we've seen prices gain up by 40% in the last 1 year. We are now joined by Ajoy Chawla. He's CEO at Titan Jewellery Division. Ajoy, thank you so much for joining in. And everybody seems to be talking about a lakh rupees at 10 grams in cents of gold. People who are buying it, bought it, holding it. What is your sense? It's a big milestone. How do you see the current prices?
What do I say? Gold is a magical commodity, and in the last several years, it's become even more magical. It has a life of its own, and there are so many forces at play. At 1 lakh per 10 grams, 995 purity, I think it's a milestone. And certainly it is high on everybody's mind, as you said. It's virtually impossible to predict, at least not for me. Maybe there are magicians and astrologers and economists out there who can predict. I cannot predict. All I want to tell you and the viewers is that ultimately remember gold is a commodity. While it has seen an rising thrust over the last several years, it has been unprecedented. And but eventually all things do settle down over a period of time. Now, what is that period of time? We don't know. So don't get totally caught up in that world. But yes, at this point in time, it is high. Will it remain high? Will it go up further? Will it come down? Anybody's guess. I cannot be a predictor of gold price. All I can say is gold is very high on everybody's mind, young, old, new age, traditional, modern, whichever way. Every customer is very keen on gold, and it is evident as I see it, even let's say our entire last financial year as well as the last quarter, and even now in the first 2-3 weeks of April, the sales of gold coins continue to lead growth by a distance. And that indicates, the high interest in this category, even as other asset classes perhaps have been a little more muted or volatile.
Ajoy, so you're saying that with gold near all-time highs, it's the coins which are doing better as an investment?
I think this is the coins have seen a secular growth over the last 3-4 years. It's not a recent phenomena. It's grown up steadily in contribution. It has been leading growth. But yes, therefore, there's a greater interest in gold as an investment. But there is also enough interest in jewelry because gold has been going up. So it's a two-edged sword. When it goes up rapidly and very suddenly, customers get spooked. And then, if it's been rising at such an unprecedented rate, almost 29% in the last 3.5 months, and if I consider from October, it's also 32% or something to that effect. Obviously, customers are spooked, and it does affect buyers, especially in the everyday gold in the sub 100,000 price segment. And it does therefore build some softness into the sentiment amongst that class of customers. But we see, on the other hand, the higher grammage and the higher value gold segments continuing to see robust buyer growth. So it works both ways. And in a way, what may be lost or soft on buyer growth is made up on ticket size growth. And ultimately, total value growth is what we measure. So it is not just coins. Even for gold jewelry, we are seeing growth. When I'm talked about these higher and lower price bands, that was more in the gold jewelry segment, not so much in coins. Coins across segments and across price points are growing very well.
Ajoy, would you say that the markets have now digested 1 lakh rupees levels, and such sudden surge basically was last seen in 2015, then 2020, and now in 2025? How has history really played out with these high price surges?
Difficult to digest. Really, it's a tough one because it's a big milestone. It is a psychological milestone. We will know whether the Indian customer has been able to digest in the next 1 week, because it is Akshaya Tritiya time, it is festive time. Every person looks at, because this is a time where also very good offers are there. It's auspicious to buy. There is a fantastic wedding season ahead. Last year, we didn't have a Lagan season in Q1. Plus, there were elections this year. That's not there. So all the other factors are very good for buying, and therefore there's a high interest. In fact, the inquiries on our website, particularly the gold rate part of the page on the website, has gone up 3x between March and April itself. That indicates customers are very keen to buy, but they're waiting to see what happens to the gold rate, especially a large percentage of customers in the, who are looking at a lower price point. So the interest is very, very high. And whether they will come in and buy or whether the market may correct a little bit, even a small correction, could trigger a gold rush in my mind. So we don't know. It's very uncertain. All I can say is we are prepared for growth, so that if something like this happens where customers come in a big way, we are ready, we are not stocked out, and we will like to ride that wave. But so far, it's not bad. I would think it's more a ticket size led growth that we would imagine if the gold rate remains high or continues to go up.
Well, I can understand the uncertainty, but Mr. Chawla, we do understand that Titan and various other jewelers have been launching new collections to lure buyers. Are these new offerings picking pace? Do you see customers exchange gold for new pieces of gold jewelry, or are they preferring to buy new?
Yeah, before I come to exchange, Manisha, I think your question refers to a larger point. How are we solving for customers problem of high gold rate? So we have decided that in this very high gold rate regime in Akshaya Tritiya festive period, let us focus on solve versus selling. Selling is an outcome, solving is what we need to focus on. So what we have decided to do is a host of things. One is, of course, exchange. Exchange has been steadily going up over the years as a contribution. And every year we are seeing a small 1%, 2% gain in contribution, which means the sales through exchange are growing at a faster rate than the overall brand and the business growth rate that we are seeing. Even in this quarter, we expect it to be very high, especially in festive. We have also launched an offer to enable customers. So one is we are making people aware. More and more people are now aware of exchange and the clean, transparent practice of exchange that Tanishq offers. So we have launched an offer which is saying that any gold, even from another jeweler, which is 20 carats and upwards in purity, there will be no deduction. It will be 100% value for the gold content of the jewel. So that's a current offer to make it sweeter. The second solve that we are doing is the best gold rate offer. Many times customers during this period, at least in the run-up, are confused. Should I buy now? Should I buy later? What will be my gain or loss? So to take that out of the equation, we have offered customers best gold rate. You will get the lower of the two rates whenever you book. And that we have seen increasing interest. We started this 2 years ago in a small way. Last year, we really expanded it for both the festive periods. This year, we are ready with a much larger quantum because we need to plan. Since we don't take a position on gold, we ensure that we make an estimate on how much gold may come in for exchange and take option on it and hedge ourselves completely.
Well, those are a couple of great schemes that Titan is coming out with. But as Ajoy tells us, that 1 lakh is a milestone, a magic number. And well, yes, consumers are finding it difficult to digest it at this point in time. Thank you so much, Ajoy, for joining us here on Akshaya Tritiya. And with that, it's a wrap on this special Akshaya Tritiya broadcast. More news and updates on the other side.